Hi everyone and welcome along. It's the 19th of December, so let's see what's behind door number 19. Oh, a lovely miniature of holly and ivy. So grab your paints and let's get started. So holly and ivy, let's have a think. So I've always wondered, I've never been entirely sure why ivy is considered such a Christmassy plant. But hey, I like painting it, so we'll just, I'll get on with it. So what I've got here is I've got a stem, which I'm going to put holly on, and then I've got a wiggly vine for my ivy. In fact, I'll put another one in there. So ivy grows sort of on alternate little branches. There we go. And holly, well, it grows a little bit more on a sturdy branch, and I like to place in little lines, as you can see here, that show me where I am going to be painting the holly. So let's go, shall we? We've got two green plants. We need to differentiate between the two. So our holly will be nice and bluey green. So we need a mix of Sap Green and French Ultramarine blue, which I'm mixing up here. And then our ivy will be a yellowy green. I've got green gold down here, which is just right for yellowy green. If you don't have green gold, you can use cadmium yellow and sap green mixed together. And I'm going to begin with my ivy first because it's the lighter of the two, and I've got a 3/10 brush, and let's go, shall we? So here we go, let's begin here. So for my ivy leaf, I like to do a central little line and then two little twin lines coming off the side. So let's do another one of those. One brush stroke going off to the fine point, and then two that are just coming out from the side. Again, curl this one down, one, and then coming into the middle. I think a key thing to remember of those two little ones from the side, obviously we're going to have a few that squish into each other so we won't see them completely properly, but this one here, you do your central stroke into a fine point, and then those two on the side, they come up like little wings. Now these have been done with quite a wet paint, but as they dry slowly, I can see this one's perfect for it. We're just going to edge it with a little bit of sap green, and that's going to give us an amazing sort of variegated ivy. But we need to make sure that the ivy has dried just a little bit, so I'm keeping an eye out for when the sheen has disappeared. This one might be still a little bit wet, but what's really cool is it allows you to just tidy up your ivy shape that you've painted and get some really nice sharp points. So you paint a few and then go back to have a look at what's drying. And this would even work even if you weren't painting in miniature. See, that one didn't have much water on it at all, so that hasn't really blended in, so now I'm just using a tiny bit of water to blend that one myself. So I'm going to paint in all my ivy like this, and then we can move on to the holly. Painting in miniature means sometimes we have to think a little differently about the order of things. So the next thing I'm painting in is little red holly berries that are going to be clustered at various points, usually where a leaf is about to sprout. I'm endeavouring to get that little bit of unpainted shine on the berries, so do use a small brush to try and achieve that. And now it's time to place in our holly leaves. So recently I did a tutorial of painting holly leaves on YouTube. Again, it's fairly similar, even on this tiny scale. There we go, central line, and then 1, 2, 3, and in. And then I'm going to fill that in with water. And then on the other side, 1, 2, 3, and in. And then with a lot less on my brush, I'm going to try and draw the colour in, but try and keep the tiniest bit of unpainted space. And then if you want, you can use a tiny bit of just French ultramarine blue. To just tidy up those leaves. So let's do that again. Let's do this one here. No, let's do this one up the top. Central line, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then fill it in. Then from the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then with a lot less on your brush, colouring that in and leaving that tiny bit of unpainted space. Then with a little bit of French ultramarine blue, if you want. If you're feeling brave, you can just add a little bit of that low light in there. Okay, so I'm going to put in all the leaves and then we can join everything together with some branches. Right, all our holly and berries and everything are drawn in, so it's now time to join everything up. So I've got some green gold, quite concentrated, that I'm painting in the ivy. And also the little branches. And then we will pop in the stems of the holly. So we'll use some of this that we were painting in anyway, and for the holly is going to be underneath the ivy, and I'm interested to try, I mean, if I don't go blind in the process, I want to try and achieve a little, there we go, 2 little parallel lines for the stem, just because it is a sort of thicker stem than the ivy. But this is small already, so quite frankly, I'm a bit mad to try this, but hey ho. You can get a bit of an obsession trying to just paint everything smaller. But I think that'll do. Lovely. So there we go, some holly and ivy for the 19th of December. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you're enjoying the Advent calendar as much as I am. Comment below, let me know how you're getting on with it, and of course share your paintings on social media and tag me in them to let me see how you're getting on. Okay, until next time, tomorrow, I'll see you then.